Good morning, everyone. We're back at it again. Jeez, I don't need this jacket. That's much better. It is 70 degrees already this morning. The ground's drying out behind us. We're gonna keep pushing on with corn and soybeans. At this temperature and with the help of this breeze we have, the ground is drying up at the snap of a finger today. We're gonna get to it this morning, doing equipment maintenance, loading the seed tenders, and planting some more ground. Don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button. Let's get to work. I knew that would come in handy. We've got a little bit of seed beans left in the seed tender right now that we do not want to use in the next field. So we're gonna take this over to the seed shed and get this emptied. Get the hitch into place. We're unloading the extra seed we don't need out of the seed tender into this pro box. Even if you're putting the same number in, it's always good to mark on them. Never assume you're gonna remember something, because that'll get you in some deep holes. This belt conveyor is one of the nicest things we've added to our lineup. The conveyors on these tenders actually swing around, and we used to have to use that hopper and load into the tender with that conveyor. It works, but it's extreme hassle to do. That's about 15 units of seed beans, which is enough at 165,000 seeds per acre, plant about 12 or 13 acres. A pro box of seed corn holds 50 units. 1 unit of seed corn has 80,000 seeds. Depending on the population that you plant your corn, that is enough to plant anywhere from 2.2 to 2.5 acres. Depending on the hybrid and trait package that you select, 1 unit of seed corn can cost anywhere from $200 to $300 a bag. That means that a box of this size could have $10,000 to $15,000 worth of seed corn on it. The price of a bag of seed varies across the corn belt depending on what region you're in. The price of seed corn in higher risk regions are typically on the lower end of the spectrum, as in areas where corn is very productive, the price is higher. Using $250 per bag as a rough estimate for the price of our seed, it costs us over $100 per acre to have corn seed in the ground. Even though that's an astronomical figure to pay for seed corn, you have to realize that good genetics are key to massive yields. We would not be growing 250 plus bushel per acre corn crops if it weren't for the genetics produced by these seed companies. For comparison, a bulk seed bean bag holds 40 units. 1 unit of soybeans, depending on the variety and seed treatments on the product, can cost anywhere from $45 a bag to upwards of $80 a bag. At the rate we plant our soybeans, 1 unit does not even cover 1 acre. Using $70 per bag as a rough cost for our soybean seed, it will cost us over $80 an acre for our soybean seed. Soybean seed is much cheaper. However, you plant far, far more than you do of seed corn. To say that our ability to grow bumper crop year after year after year purely because of our prowess as farmers would be misleading. Over the last 100 years, seed technology has made exponential gain. The quality and quantity of the crops we produce today completely eclipses even our crops 10 years ago. There are phenomenal minds out there, much smarter than I, and also paid much more. They solve problems that we don't even know exist and make our job much easier. I learned the hard way to never park the seed tender uncovered under a tree. You have to clean out all those little helicopter seeds when they fall out of the tree into the seed tender. Because one of my major flaws is biting my fingernails, I have a lot of trouble with tape. At least I have the decency when I'm done with the roll of tape to leave a little ledge on it so other people don't struggle to get the tape. We've been having battery issues with this seed tender. I'm speculating that it has something to do with this wireless connection switch. That's what connects it to the remote. If you can see, the key's off right now and it's doing something. It's probably not drawing enough power to cause issues overnight. It sits in the barn for a week to a month to a year. When we go to get it out and work on it, the battery is just completely dead. Here's the switch. I'm gonna turn it off and stop whatever it was doing. Here's my solution. Don't forget. Let's go get some beans. I've been summoned to help with some planter problems over here on the corn planter. You know this planter has too much technology when the solution to your problem is unplugging it and plugging it back in. It's practically a supercomputer, which is great for performance, but horrible for uptime. Looks like it's working. I often wonder if the persistent issues we have with this ExactEmerge planter are not the tool itself, but the machinist. As I've said numerous times, Dad is not the greatest with technology. He struggles to deal with some of the high-tech sensors and monitoring equipment that these planters run. The huge trade-off you make on highly electrical and computerized equipment is that there's no mechanical redundancy. Once one of those computers goes down on that planter, a wiring harness is bad, or any sort of other electrical issue, that planter's dead in the water. You guys saw that on Friday night. When that generator went out on the planter, it was done for. Without that that power, it's nothing. This ExactEmerge planter was a massive step up for us in planting technology. We came from a 24 row, 30 inch, 60 foot corn planter, the same exact size, but it was completely ground driven. It wasn't even hydraulically driven. Its accuracy on corn was subpar. It was okay, but you had to plant very slow to have an accurate stand. This planter is capable of planting 2 times as fast as our old planter, if not more, and doing so with a level of accuracy that is not even comparable. I'm gonna top off the 8R before I head to the field. Dad's planting south of the farm right there. I saw the cover dangling on the out-auger here, and I remembered how close I parked the tractor to it. And I'll be honest, for like a half second, I was actually kind of worried that I'd seriously damage this out-auger. We like to make sure that we never leave the farm with anything less than a full tank of fuel. It's kind of like charging your phone every time you leave the house. You never know when you're gonna need it. Why are you beeping at me? Just crossed I-57. That looks like a good spot to load the planter, but I gotta go get seed. Thanks for the ride. I had been waiting on the sprayer to get to this bean field so it'd be sprayed before I planted it. Turns out it's not sprayed yet. Planter's blocking the entrance to the field, so we gotta go move that. You guys know what they say about assuming. Should have parked it somewhere better. Much better. Looks like I'm taking the Shoelace Express. I don't have time for this. It's not that I'm in a hurry. I'm just getting bored of walking. This quarantine's got me out of shape. Field cultivators are over to the east working up some more corn ground. It is coming up great. Looks like my grandpa's over there to the south putting on some nitrogen. That would be my maternal grandfather. Other than occasionally helping him out, our operations are not combined. Dad's over there absolutely tearing through a pretty big field of corn. Let's go get beans. It is almost 80 degrees in central Illinois. Bruce is planting right by his farm. His tractor and planter setup's almost identical to Dad's. Bruce has some of the best ground that you can have for growing corn and soybeans, but they also do a fantastic job farming. 200 units of Pioneer 48, 47 seed beans. Taking a shortcut. And there happens to be a Casey. That'll do, thanks Casey's. We've got a sprayer running on the back half of this field right now. Our field cultivators are just a little bit farther to the east. We're getting a lot done today. Let's load these beans. We're gonna leave the seed tender here because we will need it at some point in time in the future. I'm just waiting on the sprayer to wrap up on the other side of the creek so we can get started. This bridge is nightmare fuel. I'm happy with that. Hello. Having a little drag race. E1. Because the no-till ground is so much rougher than the field cultivated ground, we like to increase our row unit downforce over 250 pounds per unit. On this planter, every unit has an airbag that is constantly maintained to a certain pressure to keep the row units on the ground as they bounce through the field. As you can see back there, the units are hopping around pretty aggressively. That's where the downforce comes in handy to make sure that the row unit has good contact all the way through the ride. I mentioned before, the ExactEmerge planter has hydraulic downforce versus the airbags on this one. The hydraulic downforce reacts in almost milliseconds to changes in the terrain and ground contact on the units. You can see how rough this no-till ground is. If we were in ground that had been ripped, I'd probably have to have my seatbelt on. It's all fun and games, so you have to get one of the row units up front. The corn planter just pulled in over to the east. I'm getting the seed tender from across the creek. That way I can top off my planter and keep planting. Field cultivators are working right along I-57. Can you believe that? Back to the grindstone. This is our father-son bonding. He's in his peace and quiet, I'm in my peace and quiet. Just the way we like it. The one road that the virus has not slowed down is the interstate. Shout out to the unsung heroes out on the interstate doing logistical work that keep our lives moving so smoothly. Field cultivators leaving after finishing another field. You ever just find a random screw on the floor or a bolt and you just hope and pray that that does not go to anything important? This is the time of day where you really need some sunglasses. This is also the time of day where you can really tell how dirty your windows are. Maybe this will help. You know, that may have actually made it worse. I can feel my retinas getting damaged. I'm trying to play alongside this lane. It's a little challenging to tell where I'm going. It can be a real pain during harvest time, especially in the soybean fields, as the dust makes it almost virtually impossible to see. That is one view that is hard to beat. Look at the moon. This has got to be one of the best office views you can ever get. As farmers, we are very privileged to live the life that we do. We're topping off the planter in the night. Me and the werewolves tonight. Or is it vampires? Filling the planter up again. Well, everyone, we're at the tail end of a very productive day. Very excited about all the ground we covered. The tractors and the planters are parked for the rest of the night, resting until the morning. We've got another warm day tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna wear more deodorant than I did today. There's also the chance of some isolated and pop-up thunderstorms, so I'm going to take the seed tender back home, unhook it, and leave it inside. That way it doesn't get wet. As always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, grab it if you enjoy, and let me know in the comments if there's something you'd like to see more or less of. Have a great night. Peace.